Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Moms Making Money Show. I have an extra special guest today, and she brought her super, super cute assistant with her. I have Madeleine Lambert. She is the CEO of Content Refined, and she's going to cover a bunch of things that I just feel like are so super important as a business owner, and especially as somebody who is really trying to actually speak to their ideal client. So she's going to talk to us a little bit about marketing, but using actual data, as well as kind of how some of her travels around the world have helped impact and influence her business. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Madeleine. Tell us a little bit about, if your assistant will allow, tell us a little bit about what made you decide to go into business for yourself.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
How did I decide to get into business on my own? Well, it kind of fell into my lap. So I actually have a business partner. His name is John, and I originally worked for him. And so basically what we did was when I worked for him, he had hired me to sort of proceduralize the content creation for his portfolio of his own websites. And so once that was done, I'd sort of worked myself out of a job, and then we decided to sort of launch this process that we'd created as a standalone business. So then we decided to launch our procedure to a larger audience, and that's how the Content Refined ball got rolling.
Awesome. That's so great. For those of you guys catching this live here on Facebook, feel free to ask your questions, pop them into the chat here. If you're catching the replay, feel free to type in replay. And also, if you're catching this over on iTunes or Stitcher or Spotify, feel free to leave a review and send some love to Madeleine. I have another question. What kind of obstacles did you overcome when you first kind of made that decision? I know a lot of times women tell me it was scary and they had all these fears and self-doubt, and, even sometimes they had outside people influencing their decision or giving them fear. So how did you overcome that, and what kind of fears and obstacles did you have to face?
Well, the first sort of big obstacle was the fact that I moved to Collingwood, where I'm currently living, from Toronto. And I had a really good job in Toronto. I worked at this really cool medical technology startup company. And I had worked my way up to a senior position, and I was making good money, and it was tough it was a big decision to leave that sort of comfort zone and stable job and guaranteed income to go to a small town that basically didn't have any job opportunities, and sort of rely on myself to make ends meet, So that was probably the biggest obstacle. And then I definitely had my parents sort of squawking in the background, talking about how I should maybe focus on getting a job at one of the resorts here, how that would be maybe more comfortable and more guaranteed, but that just wasn't what I wanted to do. And so we made it work, and here we are.
That quote unquote real job, right?
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, people have been telling me that for years, because I all throughout university and stuff, and after university, I waitressed and bartended for a long time, and people were like, oh, when are you gonna get a real job? And I can tell you, service industry people, that's the realest job I've ever had. Yes. Fortunately, I never worked in food service. I always thought I'd be good at it, but I never actually did. Yeah.
But I think now looking back, I can't imagine, because it's you see how people can get, what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Over a cheeseburger. So
totally. So but I'm glad that I did it. And to be honest, when I'm looking back, a lot of the food industry and bar industry has taught me a lot about entrepreneurship as well.
Good. And tell us now a little bit more about your business, what you do, and what your company is all about. And then we can kind of jump into like talking about your travels and marketing using data.
Yeah, absolutely. So Content Refined, it is a content marketing agency. And so essentially, if you have like a product or a website or any like a website that basically needs traffic, more organic traffic, you need to do all sorts of different stuff, like SEO driven stuff. So whether that's content, which is what we focus on, or like link building or whatever your SEO strategy is, you will probably need to incorporate content at a certain point. Content, I believe content is king. And if you have really great content, you're more likely to rank on search engines. So our mission, our goal is to create sort of a science around content marketing, so that we can produce, the best, highest quality content that there is out there. A lot of our competitors don't sort of use this approach. So I think that gives us a bit of a leg up. And we've dedicated, a lot of time and research and energy sort of creating the science around what we do. And in turn, we're able to really provide our clients with very high quality content, and their traffic like drastically increases in a short period of time. So.
Nice. That's perfect. So let's talk about the fun stuff really quick. Let's
Sure.
talk about traveling, because I love to travel. And I think that most people who take that leap into entrepreneurship, they do it because they like to travel, or they like the idea of having the freedom to actually travel and, take their business, having a portable business, that laptop lifestyle, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
And just having the freedom to go do more things and see more things. And I can personally vouch that, because I was in Cabo all last week. I spent the first 2 days working because we had a VIP like retreat weekend for some of my amazing clients. And then I took the rest of the week off, essentially. You do the automation stuff. I feel like I'm riding that high vibe hangover from being with those girls in person, and then just having that fun, international travel, tropical experience, because obviously travel's desires are different for everybody. Mine just happens to be warm tropical places. But tell us how that has impacted your business, because I know for me, it's huge. That
for sure,
travel and escape is huge for me.
For sure. Well, being location independent is awesome. Not every business can operate that way, but if you're sort of like running an online business and have the opportunity to be location independent and traveling is like a passion of yours, then I think that's like best of both worlds, right? And so that's sort of definitely a reality for me. I am location independent. I do have an office that we rent, but we're there sort of 4 days a week, but it's very flexible. People can take off, go on their like vacations, but still work, or decide to work remote for sort of as long as they want. And so that's what I did a lot last year. I worked out of like LA. I had a conference there. I worked out of LA for a bit. I worked out of Thailand actually for about a month. I went to a conference. I went to a conference in Thailand. I coupled that with a trip to like Hong Kong, since I'd never been there before, and then rented a place in like the Thai Islands for about 2 weeks, and hunkered down and got some work done there. And I think being able to like run your business from anywhere that has like a Wi-Fi reception is great. I also think that having an office where you can bring your staff together and manage people and sort of have a home base is also great. So however you want to run your business, I think like as long as your lifestyle is kept in mind, I think I think it's great.
Awesome. Did you find and I only ask this because I find so much inspiration, when I'm just sitting there having like, a cup of coffee or like a cocktail by the pool or whatever. Do you find that you're, more inspired when you're just kind of sitting there and soaking up like all the beauty around you and just enjoying the time?
Totally.
Whereas I feel like it helps me overcome like writer's block, if you will, right? Like sometimes you just sit down and you're like, I need to send an email, and what was I even going to talk about? But when you're just sitting there, it just flows.
Yeah, for sure. And what I like to do actually is before I go to these like beautiful places. So perfect example is when I was in Thailand last year, I was at a conference. This conference was like information overload. It was about how to like grow your business and stuff. So I made like a list of action items because I knew I was going to like a beautiful resort down in the Thai Islands. And I just made myself a list of what I needed to get done. And so when I got there, it was like I was able to really, really do deep work. And that's easy to do when you're surrounded with like so much beauty and beach time and delicious food. And I got a lot of work done. I find it very inspiring for sure.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, and I've done this, I did this myself, but I feel like a lot of people, one, coming from like employee mentality, and then two, being in business for themselves, they almost hold back on experiencing some of this travel and getting that, inspiration and whatever, because they feel like, oh, I haven't earned $1 million yet, or, oh, I'm not here yet, or I'm not there yet. And not to say like, obviously don't like get a second mortgage on your house just so you can go to Cabo for a week or anything like that. But I feel like a lot of people, they get into entrepreneurship from like a corporate job or whatever to have that freedom, but they never give themselves permission to have that freedom.
Right. It's like that employment guilt. When you have a job and like you're taking a few days off, but you like really feel like you should be at the office. It's kind of like that for sure. And yeah, I can totally see how people would do that. And I think that you also have to like surround yourself with people that support your ideas. Because if you have sort of like if people are like negative around the fact that you're like doing work in a beautiful place, which people will be, like I've had that before where like there have been people that don't necessarily like support that or think that it's like a very like spoiled lifestyle, but like don't let people rain on your parade like that, like you should, if you can legitimately get work done in those kinds of environment, then nothing should hold you back.
I kind of looked at it like it was like a work trip for me. So why not, because I was only going to be working the 2 days no matter what. So why not extend it and make a vacation out of it? I'm already traveling there. Why the heck not? So that's how I bundled it up and like rationalized it with myself. But for sure, like the travel, and it's so neat too, because then you kind of get a flair for everything that's going on, regardless of where in the world you are. There's something I feel like that's going to be inspirational there that will give you content to create a blog or, a new program or new thoughts, new ideas, whatever. So yeah, I feel like that's such a great thing to have in your business, is actually taking advantage. And I don't mean like taking advantage, but like taking advantage of the opportunity that you've created for yourself to have that freedom of time, travel, space, all of those things.
Definitely. And use it. There's, if I don't know, I think that, there's no reason why you shouldn't take advantage of it. And it's not a bad thing if you can actually get work done, like not everyone can though, not everybody has the self-discipline to actually get work done while they're traveling. So if that's not something that you can do, if it's not in your personality, then like don't run a location independent business, but and I think travel also, like you meet different people, that have different ideas than you have. And I think that there's a lot of value in that too. So
agree. I actually met a restaurant owner, a female restaurant owner, when I was down in Cabo, and she treated us to a nice dinner, and it was amazing. It was so cool. Just to, even though her business is so different than my business, and even some of the businesses that I help mentor, it was so nice just connecting with her, learning about how she got started and, all the different things. But I feel like, so since your little guy might be getting hungry, let's dive in really quick to marketing using data. So I'm assuming this means, the research that you do for your specific market.
Yes, absolutely. So I think that, you want to, I guess I'll give you an example of what we did. So basically, in order to like scale your business and like keep your clients, like you need to sort of figure out like the key pieces of data that your client wants, right? So, I mean, think about this for your business, but hey, it's okay. But for my business, like the 3 most important things that like my clients want to see are quality content, increased traffic to their website, and like return on their investment.
Yes, so, return on investment's huge.
Huge, yeah. So what we did was we started like putting processes in place that would give our clients what they wanted to see so that they would essentially have no reason to leave, right? So what I mean by that is we started collecting client data to sort of prove our concept and prove the value of our content marketing to our clients. So that's where I'm talking about like the science that we created. Mm-hmm. So what we wanted to have was some sort of like tangible data that would show our clients that like this is quality content that we're providing you with because of X, Y, and Z. And because of this increase in quality, this is the increase like traffic to your site, and we can pull that data. And because of this increased like in rankings or increase in rankings, this is the return on your investment because you're making an X amount of dollars more after using our service. So now in order to make this work, we actually had to be legitimate. And so we did a lot of work, like a lot of sort of data analysis on our clients' data with like off the shelf content marketing tools. So yeah, basically if your ideal client requires data analytics, then you need to be sort of prepared to provide that.
Oh, right. So even if you're a health coach, you've got to know a little bit of statistic backup for the product that you're selling. Like this product does ... whatever it is that your product promises. And you know, like even knowing something like, so even from like a marketing standpoint, knowing that women control 80% of like the purchasing and making those purchasing decisions for their family, for their households and all that kind of stuff, knowing that when you kind of reach out, you know, depending on what your audience is, like maybe your audience is men, but knowing that 80% of the market is, you know, the consumables are purchased by women for a household, it gives you an idea of how to shift your marketing approach. Like, all right, women are in control over here, so this is what we need to do to make that shift. So just knowing some of that basic data, some of those basic statistics gives you a leg up instead of just going into it with your blinders on, like, all right, throwing this stuff against the wall, seeing what sticks, you know?
Yeah, for sure. You know what? I'm so sorry. I think we cut this one short.
Yes, for sure. We will wrap up, you guys. She's got a hungry little baby there, and he is
sorry.
So cute. Bad timing. No worries at all. No worries at all. I've been there with my kid. So you guys, if you guys have a need for SEO, if you guys have a need to boost your website traffic and all of that stuff, feel free to reach out to Madeleine over at Content Refine. Get a hold of her. She's living proof of being able to build a business and grow a baby and have success all at the same time. So, you know,
and it's doable.
It is doable. It's hard work still. It still works, but it's totally doable. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us and for hopping onto the show today. Stacey says, great job. Allie is sending you some love. And again, feel free to share this and leave some reviews. And thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Talk to you soon.